winning.
Huge victory. Champions on that World Champions. History has been made here.
It's what we all desire. It's what fuels our fire. What makes us battle until the final buzzer.
Keep that World Cup dreams alive.
Phenomenal.
It's what brings everyone together. To fight for a shared goal, to push each other forward. It's what creates moments that we'll remember all our life.
Marking it for the game. Got it!
So mark your calendars and be a part of the battle for the ultimate trophy.
Woo! He's having a good day.
Because when we win for one,
Are you kidding me?
we win for all.
And we are here in Indonesia for the first time ever for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. It's now down to the best 32 teams in the world who over the next 18 days will be looking to fulfill the dream of lifting the Naismith Trophy. There you see it. We are in Jakarta, Indonesia for Canada taking on France in Group H action, game day 1. Well, we heard it's a sold-out arena, and there is good reasons for that because these two teams are stacked with talent. France, a lot more experience, but Canada, they have a different kind of experience and excitement on their roster, that's for sure. Shona Thorburn alongside Mark Clark. First up, it's France, and when you talk about France, they have probably one of the most experienced rosters in this competition, Mark.
Well, as a country, they've medaled 8 times at major championships. They are a perennial top 4 team. They've got players across the roster that have been at the top table, NBA, EuroLeague, wherever you can play at the high level, that's where France play. The great thing about them is that experience holds them together. They've got great continuity in the backcourt. Obviously, they're held together by one of the most experienced coaches in national team basketball, in Vincent Collet. This team knows how to win. 6-1 in preparation. A narrow loss to Australia is the only blemish. They think they're ready to go really deep in this competition.
Well, they're the 2019 bronze medalists. There's a lot of talk about how this is their year. They're going to take this trophy. They're also getting ready for Paris 2024, and they expect big things from this roster. And it is a roster, as we see Rudy Gobert, one of the best big defenders and rim protectors in the game, to go along with a lot of other very, very talented veterans. They have 5 returners from that 2019 bronze medal team. They got silver back at Eurobasket last year. They're Olympic medalists. Like, this group, they know how to win. But they're gonna have to go up against a very, very talented and exciting Canada roster. It's kind of can talent beat experience? We'll find out shortly, but first of all, what can you tell me about this Canada roster?
Well, this Canadian roster is just the talent that it has, and what it's had that it's never had before is that a little bit of continuity coming into the championship. They've had players that were in the Olympic qualifiers. They've tasted what it needs. Now, they've been unsuccessful, but every experience has allowed them to be. If there's a problem, it's can they share the ball well enough? Can they, as a team, get the best out of each other. That's what France can definitely do. Can they make the most of the talent they've got? They've got an inexperienced but a talented coach. It is the young guns, so to speak, on the world stage trying to take on a perennial winner. It's one of those classic games. You've got to think this team have to come out aggressive. They have to come out and really take it at France early to establish that type of game. If they don't, French team basketball may be too much.
Well, let's see if that talent is enough to take them to a win tonight on game day 8. Coach,
if you can hear this in the truck, we're having problems with headphones and things. We're struggling to hear each other at times.
And now Canada to France. Shortly, as Canada and France are going to play after the playing of the national anthems, and we'll take a quick pause.
For the national anthems, we begin with the anthem of France. Thank you. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Canada.
Well, there you see Coach Vincent Collet and Jordi Fernandez shaking hands, as well as the players exchanging the complimentary gifts. And our referees for tonight's game, we have crew chief Roberto Vasquez in the middle, along with Johnny Batista and Vidas Gervilas from Lithuania will be calling tonight's action. So big game for them as well. I mean, I'm excited. In my opinion, this is the best game in the group phase of this entire FIBA Basketball World Cup.
Well, that's exactly what people thought when they saw the draw. They saw this group, and we talked earlier about how good Latvia will be. This group is amazingly tough. Every single game is going to count between those three teams in particular. And you've got to say France's preparation, they couldn't really have prepared any better. They came in with so much talent. Gorbert was great early on in preparation. Yabusele was just tremendous. Those two in particular early were really, really good. Then you add the experience of Nicolas Batum, and they share the ball beautifully, and their numbers just cry out in their preparation game about how they share the ball. Talent from the perimeter, and this guy on the inside is just immense. You know, with almost, to all intents and purposes, a double-double across an NBA season. That tells you the quality that he is. And that's going to be an issue. Whoever is on the inside of any team against them, the great thing about it is he's got people like Fournier to share the ball with. It's not just they throw it inside. You can't collapse because they have so much perimeter talent. So it really does bode well for France in this tournament because they've already established in prep that they can share the ball because they've got one of the most experienced coaches in national team basketball, bar none. You know, he's just got a career that is stellar, as good as any coach could ever dream of. Him and Sergio Scariolo, unparalleled in their time in the game internationally.
I 100% agree with you, Mark. He is a coach that has a lot of medals. Canada starts, so we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dwight Powell, RJ Barrett, Kelly Olynyk, the captain, alongside Dylan. I mean, that's an NBA starting five.
Well, it's an NBA starting five, and also with Olynyk, they have so much experience. He's been around. He's one of those guys that's going to hold the ship instead. But the talent they have is just ridiculous. SGA, as we're going to call, as he loves to be called, he's an all-star. Let's just say that. We don't have to say anything else. Inside, outside, above, around, he can really play. He can finish. There's not a lot the guy can't do. And as you see there, he's loved playing this game. So he is going to be a phenomenal problem for France to deal with. And let's not forget about RJ Barrett. He's won a world title. You know, first time Canada ever won at that age group in Egypt. He led that team. Yep, led that team in so many ways, not just his talent, his desire to play national team basketball. And here's the really intriguing one for me. Jorge Fernandez-Torres has had international experience. He was with Nigeria in the Olympic Games. He's coached on the Spanish national team programs as an assistant with the seniors and the junior teams. So this guy is not a rookie at all. He's just not been in that job though, which is a big, big seat to sit in. But I know he's at one with the group. You did the press conference with him. He feels really comfortable with the way this team is looking.
He does, and you mentioned it, maybe not a lot of head coaching experience, but he has a lot of experience, and he has a lot of international experience with his Spanish background as well, like you mentioned. And you know what? Yeah, experience can pay off, but Jordi Fernandez, he knows how to coach this group of NBA players for Canada. And I think that's also something very, very important that you need to consider. Obviously, Nick Nurse, unfortunately, couldn't continue with Canada basketball, and he deserves a lot of credit as well because he brought up and convinced these guys to be here. 3 years ago, it was a commitment. Well, look at that, France. If the statistics are on their side, then it's going to be a good night for France.
Oh yeah, not only have they won three out of three as such, Canada have never beaten a European team, there you go, in a World Cup game. Hey, there's a first time for everything. You know, records are there to be broken, they're there to be changed. And this is game day one, don't forget. It's got the feel of a really, you can't win and lose a World Cup on game day one, but whoever wins this game takes a huge step forward. Yeah, Tissot countdown a tip-off. 1 minute to go before what is going to be a classic. It's going to be a World Cup classic. It's not that neither of these teams will want to play what we expect to be Spain in an elimination game. For a day one group game, this has really got a lot right in it.
Yeah, you said it. We know that they'll cross over. The first team in this group they'll cross over and play the second in the other group. So winning, for me, the team that can win tonight, I think has a very good chance to win the group. You and I just saw Latvia play earlier though, and they're a scary team to go up against. So it's not all about just winning this game. And Coach Fernandez said it's about 1% getting better every day. And I think for Canada, especially maybe missing the international experience like they do, it's about getting that 1% every quarter, every minute, every half, not just every day. And, you know, I think it has to to adapt on the fly as the game goes on, but they're going up against a very, very dominant French team.
If they can contain them, France, I think they would start favourites here, Shona, but that's a big, big question. Can they contain the ball?
Good evening and welcome to Jakarta, Indonesia for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. We have Canada taking on France in Group H action. It is game day one. Olenek, quick three-point shot off the back of the iron as Fournier comes up with a rebound.
Well, their big, big win in preparations when they beat Spain. They shot 42% from the three-point line. In other games, they've struggled.
Oh, DeColo just goes right at Powell for an easy two-point basket. SGA, back to Brooks. Brooks inside to Powell. Nice patience here by Canada. Barrett, shake and bake, and I think it's going to be a hooking foul as Batum disagrees with the call.
It's interesting, this French defense, it's not aggressive, it's just very much trying to contain. We're going to be wide and big, you're going to have to shoot the ball, otherwise you're not going anywhere. So, you know, Collet has set the stall out to start with anyway, just to have a look at where Canada are from the perimeter.
Powell inside to SGA. SGA going against DeColo, a little fadeaway off the iron. Gobert with a monstrous rebound.
How good is this crowd? They're very conscious of NBA talent, should we say, in Indonesia. And when SGA gets it, they're ready.
And we know this is a 15,000-seat brandly built arena, and it is almost sold out. Oh, to DeColo! Oh, how about that? Late to get back, though, and Brooks' three-point shot off the back of the iron. Talk about experience, DeColo. Gives it up to Fournier, who's playing in his 100th cap for Team France tonight. Shot clock, he's going to have to put it up. He does. That was well contested. Oh, but it's good. Brooks. Penetration kick. SGA gives it back. Brooks just goes all the way to the basket. And Canada finally get on the board after little over 2 minutes of play.
Well, that's what we were talking about before. They've got to take it at France.
And a turnover.
I think France will sit there and let him shoot it.
Barrett, corner, three. No good, so haven't found the bottom of the rim from outside shots yet, Canada. Good shots, though, as DeColo gets it back. Olenek. And DeColo almost turns it over, gets it back, three-point shot. Back iron, tip out, so the rebound's good. It's going to be a new shot clock. Extra pass, Fournier. And no good. Canada now come up with the rebound as Brooks is going to slam it home for Canada. So good defense leads to better offense. Aggressive defense from Canada here. Batum, shot, no good. Olenek leading the break. He just goes right at Fournier, but they're going to call an offensive foul. As I believe Fournier's feet were outside that, yeah. Oh, he definitely got hit after.
How good has Nando DeColo looked 30 minutes in, controlling what France need to do, taking his own option inside, outside. Veteran experience.
How many games has Nando DeColo played in that are this big? Many.
Oh.
Powell there, a little bit aggressive on the defense. against Gobert, but this Canadian team, they have come out and they're putting pressure on everyone with the ball.
Yeah, it's so many different ways people decide to do things. They're chasing off screens, they're not really switching at all, they're not bumping that hard anyway. They're pretty much playing this one-on-one.
The Colo shot off the back iron. Again, Olynyk leading the break, gives it up to SGA. SGA almost stripped, or I think maybe just slipped out of his hands.
Well, Fournier played the gap between the wing and him, and then really was quick getting a hand on it. It's again France trying to be wide, trying to take away drive lanes.
Powell, shot fake, and great job going up against an excellent defender.
I think that's the way they have to tackle that. Be aggressive, get the turn, so you've got to get some help. And Gobert had to help and couldn't recover.
Fournier goes at Brooks, stops, turn around, and rolls out.
Rudy Gobert hasn't seen the basketball offensively yet.
SGA, his shot's off the mark, and another defensive rebound for Gobert.
We thought they'd have given him at least something early, just to go into that gut of that Canadian defense.
Well, an offensive foul is going to go against France now. And I think to an extent, early in the game, we're just almost at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. The referees are letting them play because this has been aggressive off-ball action. But at the same time, I think they need to also keep it a little bit under control, right?
You're absolutely right.
Olynyk leaves his feet, and that's a turnover. France now, they have numbers 5-on-4. And Gobert just runs over Olynyk, but no call. Extra pass, Fournier, side dribble, three-point shot, no good. Powell comes up with the rebound.
That's offensive as well.
Maybe his feet were inside the semicircle, because I believe...
He's going to call it a block.
Yeah.
Number 12 for France.
Gobert and Yabusele have been France's consistent scorers, through preparation. Haven't had a touch at the offensive end.
Yep.
Definitely looking in different ways, and now DeColo has the second foul.
Oh, great pass out to Olynyk. And nice read there.
We'll leave DeColo out there, which he's experienced enough.
He is. Gobert, spin move, takes it right at the defense, but is blocked by Olynyk, gets his own rebound. I'm not sure he even left the ground on that dunk.
That's why he needs touches. He's a man inside.
Olynyk left open, not smart, and finally that three-point shot goes in for Canada, and it's no other than the veteran and the captain of this team, Kelly Olynyk. Fournier gets it back. He's got to get the shot up. Not sure they know the shot clock, but it doesn't matter because a foul is going to be called. And that foul.
I think there's a criticism of France at the moment. It's a little bit that Fournier in particular is trying to carry the load himself, a little bit over dribble. Get some advantage and just be a little bit more direct at times, perhaps. But Gobert needs touches. He really does need touches for this team.
Well, his one touch worked out well as he got that two-point basket off of his own putback. DeColo now goes right at the defense. Tough pass, and now Canada with a chance to run. Dort, who's just checked in. Oh, he's blocked by Matthews! Canada come up with the ball. Oh! And he takes his time. It's Alexander Walker, and it's nothing but that. So great job by Canada in the last, I would say, 5 minutes as they started 0-7 against France. Now 14 20-9. They're leading with just over 3 minutes here to play. Fournier. Tough shot by Fournier, but the shot clock was out of 1 again. Good defense by Canada. As SGA, nowhere really to go. He stops, he floats, a little short. Can't come up with his rebound. Gobert now, kicking it out. And Powell is just gonna take one for the team, I guess you could say. That'll be Canada's 4th team foul. But it would have been an easy bucket, and here you saw Lou Dort block. Look at that. How about that defense? How many times have we seen Nicolas Batum do that?
Wow.
There's been a few in his career.
He's 34 now. He's still got some hops. So it's 34. So they have sat Nicolo down, which is has to sit him down.
Gobert, easy basket for him.
That's what Fournier needs to do a little bit more, because he's gonna get guarded hard. If he draws out, he's got to kick 1 for 5 from the floor from Fournier early in this. Gobert 2 for 2.
GA shot off the mark. Gobert with another rebound. Almost. Everyone rebounds. 5 defensive rebounds for Gobert already in this game. You said it. He's a double-double machine.
Oh, absolutely. And the other good thing there, again, Fournier came down the floor and looked the other side. That's the first touch he's had in an offensive spot where he posted up, looking to be a threat. He's been an absolute handful on every team in prep when he's played. He has been one of the most consistent shooting scorers that they have. He shot 71% from the free throw line in the Europe with Real Madrid. He's just a quality guy. He needs touches of the ball.
Yeah, Yabusel make his first of 2 free throws. And make that 2 of 2. He's gonna take a break as Nessa checking into the game, who missed every single one of their exhibition games, preparation games.
Tells you how much they rate and think of him, that they really think they need him here, even though he was unavailable for part prep.
Well, he was on that team back in 2019. He's been around for the Eurobasket. Step back. Shot by Alexander Walker off the mark. France now trail by 1 with 1:40 left to go in the first quarter. Kick it out, Fournier. His feet are set. That shot is dangerous.
And that's what he needs to wait for. You know, his team are going to be really generous with giving him the ball. He needs to take responsibility, be accountable for the ones he takes. When he's set, he's scoring.
Yes. Alexander Walker. Nowhere to go. Great hands and defense. How about this hustle? They know how important this game is. Dort underneath the basket, going up against the blocking machine. Gobert and France come up with the rebound. Okobo. Oh, loses it, but somehow Mesor holds onto it. Oh, spin move. Left hand, touch off the glass. As France now with a 4-point lead. Under a minute to go. Edge him. Dort left open. Look good from here. But hit the back of the iron. Kobo waiting for Gobert. It's going to be an offensive foul. Good defense there by Alexander Walker, just getting up into him. So that's 3 offensive fouls we've had in the first quarter.
And it's what the way the Canadians are playing defense is going to force France into situations where they have to try and beat the defense. And it doesn't matter who you are, that type of pressure is tough. And it was an obvious hook. It was Good defense, yes, but poor in the way that he had to try and hook down to get free. Under that sort of pressure, just get it down and get it into what they want to run.
Well, Canada taking their time because shot clock, game clock is roughly the same. SGA, shake and bake, good defense, triple team, turns it over, Fournier, and they're gonna say that the game clock ran out before there was any kind of a foul. So it has been a back and forth first quarter. It has been very, very tough and aggressive defensively. Canada losing to France 14-18 after 10 minutes.
Well, they're going to get a stats shoulder, and both teams from the three-point line are not going to be writing home about the way they shot the three. You could argue Canada took them a little early, perhaps. Maybe they could have been more aggressive and actually attacked the ring. And we're going to get to see in these best plays how effective Canada are when they attack the ring. Because when they're aggressive, they really do look, and they get better looks from the three-point line. When they penetrate and kick, they get better looks. And Fournier is almost a one-man replication of that for France. He made this tough first one, then missed the next four. The next one he took his feet to set. But when Canada do that, they're a tough ask, especially the way France is playing a little bit aggressively at the defensive end. They're giving them the opportunity to build up momentum on penetration.
So, Mark, 10 minutes has gone by and France had 3 of their starters play the entire first quarter. That's how important this game is.
The Boston Calais is never worried because these guys play, right? It's not as if he's got guys who are only playing 15 to 20 minutes a game. These guys are late 20s, like into the 30s in minutes wise in big games. They don't have to play every week. They get to rotate. Fournier is the one that is interesting because he played so little in the last season, but he has played him extensively in prep. It's almost as though you haven't played enough, I'm going to play you, and then it looks like Fournier is comfortable out there. Sometimes though, maybe they come unstuck in those big games where they get worn down by a team that does rotate, like Spain did to them in the final last year.
Well, let's see as Fournier and Gobert are still on the court. And nice passing by France leads to an and one, a possible three-point pay as Matthias Lissot was the recipient of that last pass. Yeah, you said it. You and I talked before the game. Fournier, didn't play a lot with the Knicks. And, questioned how game ready would he be. But did play a lot in those preparation games. And I think that was a tactic of Coach Collet saying, you know what, you need to get your legs back.
Yeah, absolutely right.
We're going to play a lot. You're going to play a lot. We're going to get you the ball a lot. And you're going to find your form again. Little semi-full court pressure here by France. Olynyk back in the game with those 2 fouls. RJ Barrett. Got fouled at the end on the pass. Canada, some nice penetration, maybe committing a little bit too early and leaving their feet. And France are so long and quick to help and get back.
Yeah, well, their assist number tells you that they're going to do a great job getting open for open looks.
Extra pass from Olynyk leads to an and one. Strong take by Melvin Ejim as he falls hard. I like how they didn't settle for the 3 though. He could have shot that 3.
Because they made the extra pass, they created that long closeout, and he had time to really attack. For the first time, probably France didn't rotate behind him to help him on that penetration.
I mean, they also don't have Rudy Gobert in the game. He's now on the bench, so maybe Canada will feel a little bit more comfortable attacking.
You bring 2 meters 18 off the bench, and you should at least get the ring protection. It's not Gobert, obviously, but the ring protection should be there.
As Mustafa Fall is in the game for Gobert, like you said, 2 meters 18. So France now going to their bench other than Fournier. And strong take by Lessor.
It's pretty clear why they were desperate for Lessor to play, right? He's come off the bench, he's gone like 3 made buckets in no time. He's been so aggressive. The spin move, the penetration. And he has given energy to a team full of energy already off that bench. Great way to come in.
Well, good counter attack there by Barrett as he just takes it all the way to the hoop. Can't score, but gets a trip to the free throw line. This is the first. France now slowing things down, setting up their half-court offense. Cordogne almost turns it over, and he does. They're going to call the travel.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Well, Batum coming into the game for him.
The other thing about the minutes show, they have the day off tomorrow. Well, they'll practice, but they have the day off.
Oh, Linnick. Quick shot release, no good. Nice rebound, Edgin. Barrett misses that, but it'll go to the free throw line again.
That's a blocking foul, surely. And to be fair, not the safest thing in the world because he really did slide underneath. Watch him slide. There you go. Lead underneath.
Well, Barrett's last trip to the line was 0-2.
Vincent Collet very comfortable with putting DeColo back in the game with his 2 fouls. It was really a rotation rest, not I'm worried about your 2 fouls.
Like you said, though, he's very, very experienced.
Maybe with Fournier, it's like, hey, you haven't played a lot all year, you must be fresh. So I'm going to leave you out there because he's looking very, very sharp, very impressive. Both ends of the floor. It's obviously a player that Collet really, and obviously, as you say, 100 caps for France. When he's needed, he's always there.
Well, RJ Barrett, better job at the free throw line that time round. As he goes 2 for 2. Fournier now with this pressure. Dort. Almost double team. DeColo, nice looking shot off the mark though. Alexander Walker. No hesitation, finds Dort. Dort takes his time. And that was strong, but Edgin comes up with a rebound. And now Linnick finds an RJ Barrett in the corner. Barrett shot off the mark. I'm surprised that wasn't a rebounding foul.
There was a lot of contact, but it's almost like everybody's banging, so it's like who does the referee call?
And what do we say when Fournier gets his feet set? It's an almost automatic bucket.
But earlier in the game, the Canadians were chasing him off that line and making him make a move to get the 3. They've given him the last 2 wide open looks, and no one has chased him down.
Alexander Walker gets it from Linnick, finds Linnick. He's left open for a moment. Ooh, nice cut by Dort. And great pass. And 2 more points for Canada as they trail by 5, 21-26 early in this second quarter. DeColo. Kind of an uncharacteristic shot by DeColo.
Unusually, France had no one moving on the penetration. No one moved into a place where he had a pass, and I'm assuming he would think he would have had a pass in that situation. Had no one to go to.
Up to Fournier. Fournier, only person person who's hit a couple threes for France. That time he takes it to the basket and gets it to go right before the buzzer.
That's tough. Decision to go was smart, but that's a tough finish at that deep in the clock.
Dort almost throws it out of bounds, but SGA, comes up with it. Fancy footwork. Can't finish the play though. Dort just slips, I think. Now Fournier, the hot hand for France in this game. Another three-point shot. No good, and that is going to go out of bounds, so back to Canada. 11 points for Fournier. He is the only person. He's made 3 3-pointers for them, as he is 3 of 7 now. But look at that take, right at the buzzer. Somehow draws the foul and gets the basket to go. So he has an opportunity for a three-point play. Nice heads up. That's kind of a veteran move, right?
Oh, and also the other thing about it is the last few times they've stood and taken bad shots, right? So they try to get out tight, he reads it, draws it, goes up, puts it. That's just smart. Canada have got so much athletic ability to do that. They just settle too much for that three. Go at it. You know, make France not sure what's happening. Make sure France try and force you to do something. Don't just stand on the three-point line and just take that shot. Be the aggressor. When they've been the aggressor, they've been really, really impressive.
As Olynyk gets his three-point play and cuts that lead to 4, and it's going to be another offensive foul, and it looks like Olynyk took one to the chin. I think the foul's going against Yabusel.
I'm going to watch it.
And Olynyk's slow to get up.
I want to take the... Yeah.
Come here. Did you see something?
Yeah, I have a foul. I cleared the foul, okay?
Let's go.
Let's go for round. I did.
Well,
They're going to look at because they're what they think there might be more in this than just a normal
foul review. Foul review. Possible on Sport My Life foul. Go back. Normal speed. Right there. Okay, start.
oh yeah.
Okay,
Please go back and show normal speed.
normal speed. Go back a little bit. Okay, now run. Okay, stop right there. Give me this one. Okay, run. No, give me the crane. Yeah, and crane. Spider and crane.
There is not visible.
No, it's not visible. Yeah, zoom it. Okay.
What do you think?
Run.
Go frame by frame, please. Look, he's just running. Setting screen. But the hand is like this. What do you think?
The hit. Go back a little bit. Go back.
Look, this is not. Go. For me, it's like not contact on the elbow.
The forearm.
Yes. And it's not like punch. It's like. Go forward, please. Back. Frame by frame. Look, the hand is here.
There.
Punch.
Huh?
What do you think?
Oh yeah. Go back.
Back.
Go back and swim it. Go back.
It's point of contact.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. The foul meet the criteria for Sport My Life foul. The foul is upgraded to Sport My Life foul. Two shot number white 13, and the ball for Canada on the throw line. Throw lines. Foul. Unsportsmanlike foul. 27.
It's so good you get to hear the conversation.
Get it.
And the replays just make it very clear as to why they're going to make that call.
I think what's even, right now, Canada, okay, Olenek, 2 free throws plus the ball back, but France have committed 5 team fouls, so from 6 minutes on in this quarter, Canada can stay aggressive and just draw fouls.
When he was
they're going to get
on
through
your
the
side,
free throw
just stand there.
And again, just underlines the need
And the
for
hit was
Canada
on the
to
face.
be the aggressor right now, not settle for anything less than something they really, really want. It's like they've got to want the they've got to really want the shot they're taking, not just take a shot because they're open. Be the aggressor, exactly like they did on possession before when they drew the foul and got the tough shot to drop.
Well, Gobert is also going to go out because he has 2 fouls. Oh, France, though, with the defense. Ooh! That would have brought the crowd to their feet, but off the front of the arm, and now numbers for Canada. So again, the sore there comes out in fouls to slide down, but they're in bonus. So was it a good foul? Probably not. And I think you see his tell his teammates, yeah, my bad. I understand the foul because it was a 5-on-4, 4-on-3 situation. But you're in bonus. You're giving up 2 points anyway.
The missed dunk as well, just to comment on that. All that emotion and the momentum that Canada were building, they could have lost that on that great defensive play by the South. They missed the dunk. All of a sudden, Canada are back in that position of, hey, we're on a roll here. We're 6-0. We're looking good. We're going to make the throws, get that defense on again. It's a really important time in the game for Canada to take advantage while they have that advantage. Can't settle for any shot now. They've got to get the shots they want, share the ball in the right way, and be aggressive.
Well, you said it. 6-0 run for Canada as they tie the game 28 apiece near halfway through the second. And pass to the corner to Colo. Oh! Pretty good defense by Canada, but this is how good France is. Even on a broken play, they can come up with 3 points.
It's a really, really small lineup that France have in the game. It's a real small ball lineup. The way they're going to deal with not being in that foul situation is to be quick.
Short to Barrett. Powell left alone underneath the basket. Nice passing by Canada. And maybe a miscommunication there by France on the defensive end.
Carousel is asleep on the bottom of the help.
Fournier gives this up. They find the Colo, who knocked down 1 on the last possession. Go inside, Yabusel, tough pass, turnover, numbers, Canada. Shea takes it all the way though. And now Vincent Collet of France wants to call a timeout and talk about things as Canada with their first lead in a while, 32-31.
In the timeout, when he did it, just got to take a listen to him now. It's a crucial timeout.
Gershon, on joue look tête avec Mathias, d'accord? Il roule vite. Gershon, tu cours complètement à l'extérieur. On cherche look tête avec Mathias qui roule très vite. D'accord? L'installation, attention sur l'installation. Très vite, Gershon. On fait backpick pour toi, tu vas de l'autre côté. Isaiah par là. Evan, tu remontes. Mathias, roulez, Nando derrière.
Well, Collet hoping to motivate his French players. A little bit of defensive tactic there as Gobert went to the bench because he does have those 2 fouls.
almost damage limitation time for them now. They've just got to take care of the ball, maybe spend some time with the basketball, take some time out of the game while they've got this problem.
Up to DeColo.
That was a great effort by Brooks. Brooks read it, and he didn't get the foul. The foul went the other way. Brooks almost came. They called out Brooks. I was surprised it's gone to Brooks because he came across from the outside and was clean, it looked to me. Really read the play well.
Only 13 foul for Canada. Fournier gets it back. He's defended by Powell. Finds a gap, not a lot of space though, but he does find his shooter in the corner off the rim. They have Barrett running, but SGA not able to find him. Oh! And that's going to be another foul going against France. So good job for Canada when they stay aggressive and they attack the basket. They are definitely getting to the free throw line in this second quarter. This will be their 11th and 12th trip to the free throw line. He knocks down his first. Make that two. Almost a starting lineup for France back in the game to finish this quarter. I imagine Fournier. Goodness me. What a pretty shot he has.
Well, he's carried them. This first half, he really has carried them.
Powell. Up to Dort. Back iron. Fournier with the rebound. He's pushing the tempo. He has DeColo running. They find Batum. Extra pass was tipped though. They go back inside to Lesor. And a late foul called against, I believe, Brooks.
That's a great seal. I'm not sure about the foul, but that's a great seal. And Brooks has probably been hard done by on the last two fouls. Because that one, I'm sure the one before, definitely not for me. But that's nothing away from himself. That's a great seal, great pass. And almost what Canada should be doing to France, France are doing to Canada. You know, Canada settled for the three, France are going inside, being aggressive on penetration before they look for the three.
Again, 34 apiece. Staying at 34. Barrett growls a rebound. What about this? 2 free zones. They played some zones in their preparation games.
They showed it earlier on.
Blocked by Batum. Second block of the game for him. And nice hands, but ball is going to stay France possession. Shot clock at 16. Olynyk checking back into the game, as well as Alexander Walker. And Powell and Brooks going out. Going to be called though, so now France going to get to go to the free throw line as both teams are in bonus.
just for someone who hasn't played a lot all year. And you've got to again look at the way that Vincent Collet has had him on the floor as much as more than anybody in the prep games.
Adding to his total and helping France now with a 2-point lead. And they're still trying to back in that zone. Actually, it looks like a box and one with the two on SGA. Shot rolls in and out. DeColo falling out of bounds, gets it to Fournier. Fournier now to 2-on-1. He gets it back. Easy finish for him.
He's got laughed away France and dealt for this the second part of the second quarter. Canada still staying with this early three when they do it away.
Gobert gets it to the hot hand, Fournier. Gobert now gets it back off the mark. 2-on-1 for Canada. Batum already blocked Dort once, but that time he goes up strong with two hands. And Collet, there you see it. Takes the ball that time. Collet wants to take a timeout. The Canadian fans excited as they take a lead. Minute 30 left. And let's try and listen in here.
Emergency, grand ballon, grand petit, tu passes devant. Nous on est là. Première attention. Lui il va toujours shooter. Faut être dessus. Hey, on joue un simple pick and roll middle avec Mathias. On lui dit. Là, tu restes de ce côté-là, comme sur deux sides, d'accord? Mathias, il vient, là, il ouvre là. Et après, il y a Joado, il y a Evan là. Nando, Nico. Si tu peux y aller, tu y vas. Comment tu joues à deux là-bas, d'accord? Allez, let's go! Allez, allez, allez!
Collet with a little bit of an offensive set there. Minute 30 left to play. Canada with a 1-point lead, and it has been a game of runs, really, for both teams. France's biggest lead was 7 at one point. Canada's was 5. And France's biggest scoring run, 12-0. Canada 8-0. Nicola up to Massoc to Fournier. Nice hands by Dort. But Fournier still comes up with it. Gobert just loses the ball. And ball back to Canada. So with an opportunity here to extend that lead a little bit. Olynyk gets it back. Shea. Shaking and baking. Oh. Had all the moves, but just couldn't finish. And took from behind. It's going to be an easy 2-point bucket. Canada now, 3-point lead. Another stop and an opportunity to score possibly for them. By Fournier, and now Coach Jordi Fernandez, no surprise, is going to use his
5, and Kelly, you're gonna flash, and you're gonna play 2-man games. All right, just time it, one shot. All right, here we go, here we go. Execute on 3, 1, 2, 3. Ed, ready for the hit, ready for the hit.
Well, couldn't see the board. We definitely saw that man reach to the sky. Forced the turnover, led to an easy 2-point bucket for him. He has 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists on the night. Canada, 18 seconds. You can imagine that they're going to use the entire clock here. The clock to wait until the shot clock is winding down. And a foul is going to put Olynyk to the free throw line. It's going to go against number 30. So Canada really just attacking that free throw line in the second quarter. They had no free throw attempts in the first quarter. And here this will be their 13th and 14th
Probably the most consistent part with the jigsaw for Canada so far.
Olynyk's going to come out.
They can't foul.
No, and
Just got to force France to take as bad a shot as they can.
5 seconds is a lot of time, though. They get it to Fournier. Fournier has a good look, and you can play that in the international game. You can play the ball on the rim. Not in the NBA. You got to let that maybe bounce in, but in the international game, as far as I know, you can play the rim.
Once it's played the rim.
Once it's hit the rim. Well, it's halftime here in Jakarta. Canada up 43-40 over France, and what a game it has been for 20 minutes.
Well, the numbers again, that 3-point percentage for both teams. France getting over 30, 23%. Canada from the 3-point line. Compared to how effective they are when they attack the basket. And a number of those made threes were off penetration and kicks, so it actually got an inside-outside look. And when they do that, they look really, really effective.
Yeah, you said it. You see, we talked about Fournier, his big first half, almost half of France's points, 19 points. I thought Kelly Olynyk has been superb. He has 12 for Canada. We saw SGA come alive a little bit more there in the late second quarter. He has 8 points. But really, for me, it's been all Fournier for France. And without him, I don't know where they would be.
And he pretty much didn't sit for the whole of the half. And once he got those tough threes out of his system, when he took the 4 step backs out of his system, he didn't take a bad one after that. Took it to the basket really well. Feet set, makes the 3. As you say with SGA, he can get to the bucket really well. He can shoot the ball, yeah, but he's tough. On the dribble, he's so tough to handle.
I think there's a reason why he's an NBA All-Star.
That's the other guy for France, he's so off the bench. Second leading scorer, limited minutes by comparison, but he's such a tough guy to guard. He's strong enough to seal off, but he's mobile enough to actually make enough room to create enough space for himself. And he really did come in and give energy to France.
Yeah, he did. Matthias Lessor. We know he was not with them during preparations because of an ankle injury, so you definitely can see his value and why Coach Collet said, you know what, it's like all the time you need, just be ready to go because we need you as well. And big performance off the bench for him. 8 points, 3 of 3 shooting in his 12 minutes. I'm a little bit concerned about the fouls for France. I mean, we see Okobu, Batum, Gobert, DeColo all have 2 fouls. That's That's a lot of foul
This is
for important players.
And it's a really interesting thing that came out of Canada's prep. Every one of their games was high foul count games. Now, I think a lot of that is the way that Canada press and pressurize, and the referee has to make calls, and he forces calls, and that's the Dominican Republic game was a crazy game, 51 free throws across the game, but even in the Spanish game, really big time foul counts.
Well, we'll be back. It's halftime. Canada leading France 43-40.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Those guys knock down shots.
How about? Well.
Oh, nice pass.
Oh, and it's an alley-oop.
Jokic makes it look so easy.
Yeah, everything makes it look easy.
To Klaver. Klaver, nice bounce pass. Into Willie Hernan Gomez. Oh, my words.
What a move. What a drive initially. Attack the basket, then the bounce pass came.
Gowrie. Back out to Jan now, leaves his man on the floor and throws it down.
Oh! Rui Hachimura! He just ripped through the ozone layer and pounded it home to Miles Turner.
Got to get it in. It's in. Mahika breaks through. Mahika to win it. He's won it. Carino grabs the rebounds. And Provitola. Deck behind the back pass. Oh, yes. Now we've come to play.
That's the play of the day so far.
Jalen Brown. Bakula. A windmill gets the crowd here in Shanghai to ooh and ah.
Just can't get it to drop. Tough tournament for him so far.
That came down to purely Abercrombie wanting it more.
Giannis up and in! Giannis and Antetokounmpo with the response!
Behind the back pass to D'Elia by Campazzo.
That was incredible.
That could be the player of the quarterfinals, folks.
Metu, oh! Did you see that? Metu throws it down.
Away in the flush. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
have for you. It is 43-40 for Canada, but it has been a back and forth game. The lead has changed 7 times. France, more or less, I would say the first quarter, they really dominated Canada, and then Canada found their stride in that second quarter against France, and late in the game, late in the second quarter, came up with that lead as you see it right now. 7 lead changes is a lot. Scoring run of 12 for France is a lot. Scoring run of Canada, 8. It's an exciting game and it's an aggressive game. France a little bit of foul trouble, which let Canada get back into this game.
Yeah, absolutely right. And for me, the other thing is that Canada's defense has been really productive. 9 points off turnovers for them, no points off turnovers for France. That's a big factor in the game as you see the breakdown with Fournier's 19 and Gorbert's 6. Cordinaire off the bench has shared the ball really nicely, so they got their balance. But then all that defense with the 9 points off of those turnovers, they've still gone 3 from 13 from the 3-point line. When two of the threes they've made have been off inside outside. When they've come down and just settled for a 1 pass or no pass 3, it's just not working for them. It's not saying don't shoot the 3. Let's have a look at something else and be more aggressive early for Canada. And when they've done that, unbelievably effective. You don't turn France over 9 times in a game at this level, this important, without playing great defense and pressuring them, and that's been the outcome for them. That's the positive. Then you've got to be efficient and effective when you get the basketball. Canada have all the tools and weapons they need to win this game. And France, as you said, are relying so heavily on Fournier and Rudy Gobert. Are they going to be able to do that for 40 minutes? I don't think so. The positives are far greater for Canada at the half. You don't want to stop people being positive and aggressive, but let's be positive and aggressive and really attack the hoop.
We talked before the game started how, I don't want to maybe knock Canada teams in the past, especially that team in 2000 with Steve Nash. I mean, any team with Steve Nash has got to be one of the greatest. But this, to me, is the most talented team Canada has put together in many years. And like you said, comparing it to France, who are relying heavily on just a couple players, Canada are able to go to the bench. They're able, it's not just 2-3 stars on this Canadian team.
No.
They are very talented to that 12th man spot.
And the style of game suits that depth. Coach has got them really playing aggressive, and at times possibly too aggressive, but everybody's playing it. So who does the referee call? Everyone's in the passing lane. They do a great job around the ball. So especially it's hard to set screens on this Canadian team because they are really going over the top whenever they can. Going underneath is a last resort. So they are forcing it to be physical, and maybe they're more used to that in France. The foul count, if it carries on the way to go, will obviously foul Canada. But that's the style of game that they're putting on the floor, and the referees are happy to make calls. And I think Canada are just more used to that type of game.
Give this a look. If you don't have it, you keep going. And then we go backside shade. All right? Easy. Dwight rolls, Kelly pops, you attack, RJ lead the cut, Dylan stay here. We got it? Set, just wait for him because we may get a good one. And if we get the layup, next play again, then we go backside. All right? Here we go. Execute on 3, 1, 2, 3. Execute.
Well, Canada, it's all about executing. They talked about getting better every day, just that 1%. And so far, 20 minutes into this game, you have to say that Canada does not seem as inexperienced as we know that they are at the international game. I'm not saying that these Canadian athletes are inexperienced, but internationally, they don't have as many games under their belt as this first. Welcome back here in Indonesia. Canada leading France 43-40. Group H action. It's game day 1. My opinion, the biggest game of this group phase in all of the FIBA Basketball World Cup as Canada, some fancy movement there, wide open, Brooks as he kisses the crowd. So nice play and draw up there by Coach Fernandez out of the halftime.
Well, as you said, you know, penetrate, draw it, and then you've got someone standing there inside, outside, or penetration. They shoot the three well then. Whoa.
Kobo sat on the bench for a while there with his 2 fouls. He now has a little bit of a mismatch. Step back, shot, no good. Canada forcing France to take a lot of shots late in the shot clock. Barrett drives baseline, no good. Powell almost comes up with it, but they're going to say it went off him. So back to France. And there was a nice action, wide open Brooks.
You know, like sometimes people look at being efficient and say it's like boring or whatever else. There's nothing boring about being efficient when you're winning games and making plays to get good shots. And that's what they did the first play, not what they did the second.
How about this defense? Brooks on Fournier. Tough shot. And Canada now.
It's 2 great defensive series by Canada.
SGA. And his shot rolls in. So a nice start here by Canada. As you see in front of us, it's not quite on your screen. Brooks trying to get in the head of Fournier. And that's all right. He says, I'm going to take it. It was an aggressive first half. We saw quite a few fouls, especially go against France. And Brooks now is going to have to go to the bench though. But so Brooks goes out and you get to bring in, because he has 3 fouls, you get to bring in Lou Dort, who's an incredible defender as well.
Absolutely right, absolutely right. You shouldn't worry, it's a whole team thing for them. You don't want to lose that aggression across the roster at all.
Almost looks like a box-and-one defense by Canada. I know it's just, you know what, Dort, don't help defend Fournier. We don't want to let him have 19 points again. Another possession defensively for Canada. Shea spins, finishes, and that is a 7-0 run to start this third quarter.
2 at the ring, one kick to a wide open shooter. This end is the impressive end though. They are really just defensively just shutting them down.
Fournier got a decent look, but that's off the rim. SGA goes all the way, no good that time. He had some players open as 3 New Jerseys surrounding him on that layup. France now just seem kind of out of sorts. Gobert, good job taking the contact and finishing. They don't seem like themselves offensively, and I think that's because Canada are doing a great job on defense.
Oh, I agree, 100%. It's like just the pressure. That's the first breakdown they've had.
Olynyk, shot fake, penetration, corner, Barrett. Off the mark, Dort! Would have brought the house down, doesn't matter, comes up with his own rebound somehow. SGA penetrates, step back, shot at the free throw line, no good though. Fournier, probably his cleanest look in this quarter.
He still did a great job chasing him off the line. They didn't even get set. They didn't put it on the floor.
Olynyk's shot's no good, so France now slowing things down, maybe wanting to try to set up and run their offense a little bit.
Nando De Colo's going to come back, and he has to come back. If they're out of sorts, Nando De Colo's not on the floor.
Yabusel, his shot's off the mark. So both teams going cold here, last few possessions offensively. Shea's block. That's going to be another block for Batum, but they couldn't come up with the rebound, or the ball. And Shea just follows his block shot and is left wide open. That's the 3rd block shot for Batum. Kobo. They look to go inside to Yabusel, but good defense by Canada, and another turnover for France. France with 10 turnovers in a game, and we still have 15 minutes left to play.
Oh no, that's the point we made at halftime. 8 turnovers in the first half. That's about tempo of game and the pressure that Canada have exerted on them. And that's the positive. Live with that. Don't be inefficient going the other way. You have a 10-point lead now. No one's saying here, don't be aggressive. No one's saying don't, look to make plays. But let's look at maybe some higher percentage stuff early, like you've done early in this quarter. Get to the ring, look to penetrate off the kick.
Shea, hot hand. You know when the ball rolls in off the front of the rim, it means you are feeling it. As Coach Vincent Collet, he has to call a timeout after that shot. France now trailing by 12, 54-42 over Canada.
That's an 11-2 run at the start of this third period. Collet has some questions to answer. Let's see if he's got them.
C'est bien, c'est toi qui descends et Mathias qui roule, d'accord? Okay, là on a 2 gardes exprès, donc il faut qu'on bouge la balle plus avant d'être agressif. En défense, on fait des aides à contrôler, on laisse les corners wide open, on n'a pas besoin. Mais là c'est là qu'il va tout, à la fin. Mais là c'est une fois. Le reste c'est joujou. Allez gars, on se concentre.
Well, we heard it in the timeout. Collet talking about the defensive rotation and who they want to leave open, because right now someone needs to come and help a little bit on FBA, and he is feeling it to start the third quarter.
Wow, 16 and 9 and 5 assists. That's a stat line. He's not done yet.
8 points in the first 4.5 minutes of this second half for number 2 of Canada.
So Fournier is sitting now for France. First time he's sat and Colo's in. It's an interesting adjustment.
Colo trying to shape this defense to Colo. Corner 3-point shot. But you said interesting adjustment. Colo heard you.
He's never going to back down from doing what he does, is he? Just moved well off the ball, caught it, high release.
Backdoor, no good. Alexander Walker penetrates baseline, tries to find Powell. Nice hands by France. They come up with the ball. Lessor to Gobert, just throws it up. Gobert not able to finish though. Or gets to tip it. Great pass. It was a smart idea. Great job. Nice patience. Got Colo off his feet. Trying to draw a foul. Maybe in the NBA that's a foul, but it's not a foul here in FIBA. The sword, baseline, spin move. And another turnover for France.
It's the pace they're being asked to play. They're being asked to make plays.
Well, they left him open, and that is not a good idea. As he knocks down a 3. And boy, has he come out hot. 8 points at halftime. He was 2 of 9 shooting. He is now 8 of 17 and 21 points. Welcome to the world of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, folks.
They're going to call the foul, I think. No, they're going to go 24.
It's going to be an offensive foul, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just so impressed the way Canada have literally defensive effort the first half was great. It's better. I mean, defensively now, France have had no look apart from the inside Gobert at all. They just have had no look, no unopposed. Fournier's having to take shots off the dribble before he went out. Then they've had the open look from Nicola, but even that was challenged on a closeout. This is as good a defense as you're going to see in this World Cup.
I agree with you. Fournier, that big first half, Canada did not have an answer defensively, and now it's Alexander Walker, a tough make. Now it's all Canada and SGA. And France don't really have an answer for him. Batum, shot's no good. And Lesor's going to get called for a reach-in as Olynyk falls to the ground. There you see David Blatt clearly working, helping out Canada.
One of the greats, eh? One of the greats.
Yep. Great European coach. Good NBA coach.
Very good NBA coach. Just one or two things away from a championship.
Yep. Olynyk wide open. And Canada, what a third quarter. They have outscored France 19-4 in this quarter. To hold France to only 4 points is incredible. You said it. Yeah, their offense is great. It's exciting to watch right now. But folks, this is a great defensive effort that they have put on for 7.5 minutes. That's two. Missed one, and that's another one.
So France now are having to look for things like Batum as an early option on a pick and pop. It's not one of France's options they've used in prep very much at all.
Alexander going out to Colo, finds Alexander Walker in the corner. His three-point shot off, but it's tipped out. And he gets it back and turns it over, unfortunately. And now France with an opportunity, but good job getting back defense by Canada. He didn't block it, but look at that effort by Dylan Brooks to, you know, make Okobo think about the shot.
Absolutely right. Again, I'm always gonna get to this point. Coming down the floor, I know Fournier's missed his last couple of shots before he went out. He's back in the game. He's wide open in transition with his feet set, and they decide to take one off the dribble. And you're like, you've got to take every single possession relentlessly. You were down in a hole now. You really cannot pass up your opportunities in transition to get good looks. Like, this is, I'll say it again, as good as a defensive effort I've seen in a very long time. Because it's not just about what happens on the ball here. They're active everywhere. No one comes off a screen without being chased or bumped. It's just a great effort.
Yeah, you said it here, Edgen switching on to DeColo. Gaviso gets it up to Fournier. Ooh, nice little shake there. But he has gone cold in this second half. Barrett. Now Brooks. Just goes all the way to the basket. And how about that strength? How do you stop that? I mean, I thought it was a relatively good defensive effort there by Terry Tarpey checking into the game, who just got into the game for France. How do you stop that?
Well, because he was never really there, you can't. You know, he had advantage. The only way you can help it is help early. You stop himself early. And this is, you said at halftime how surprised we were about the fact that France haven't rotated and gone to their bench. Now, having not rotated, now they're rotating when they're in a hole. And it doesn't look like the lineups that are in the game now have, well, one, that's just the firepower, but two, defensively, I'm not sure they can cope with Canada.
Well, foul there is going to go against Canada. So France now, they got 1:10 left to put up a couple points. They only have 4 points in this quarter. That has to be a record low for France. If Canada can keep them to only 4 points. DeColo, thought about it, lets it go. And nice big time shot by the veteran Nando DeColo.
When we talked about it before the game, when we talked about situations like teams having to create for themselves, it's France now having to do that. Canada are shifting it, moving it, and getting shots with their feet set, although Barrett didn't need to take that one. You know, he's gone looking for it, he doesn't need to. There are guys on the floor who are hot at the moment.
Okobo, strong take to the basket, draws a foul. I think it's going to go against Olynyk, so that is probably, if it is on him, it's going to be his third team foul. Third personal foul.
officials just had a conversation with that Spanish bench because he's now a little bit, I think he's had a little bit much of the continuous conversation with him, should we say. And I think the conversation went a step too far, so he's told coach, and the coach has told players, so it'll be interesting to see if that has the effect. They don't need to get into that right now. They're a team with every piece of momentum going their way. 18 points up, in control of the game, playing a good quarter of basketball as they've probably played since they've been together as a group, against a great French team.
Alexander Walker wide open. Three-point shot is good. How about that? They're going to get the ball back. Not with many seconds. Shot clock, game clock, about 2-second differential. They can get a defensive possession stop here. And they have 12 seconds. And they're going to slow it down. They get it to the hot hand, SGA. 5 seconds, 3, 2, and a reach-in foul. It's only a great foul, smart foul there by Fournier, because that's only France's 3rd team foul. And when you talk about that's only France's 3rd team foul, why did they maybe not use more fouls when they could have? Well, they had some of their best players in foul trouble from the first half, and maybe that's why.
And they weren't rotating to protect that. They've ended up in that situation where they're forced to rotate, and that exposes them to this run. But you still then got to deliver. And the number of times now where they have penetrated and kicked to someone with their feet set on the three-point line, more in one quarter than they did the whole half.
3 seconds for Canada. They get it into Olynyk. Olynyk fade away off the back of the iron. Was a decent look for him, but what a 3rd quarter for Canada, as it was all Canada. And it started on the defensive end, and shots started to fall. They are leading 68-48 over France after 30 minutes of play.
Well, these numbers much more appealing now as Canada tick over 30%. They're still not where they want to be from the three-point line, but they've done such a better job in that 3rd quarter. And most of that's off either a penetration or in kick or an inside-outside option pass-wise. Done a great job at actually knocking down the open three. These best plays are going to be all by Team in White. It's just everything. That first play of the game, penetration to the quarter, penetration, kick to the wide open shooter. All day and all night to release it. They repeated that 4 or 5 occasions during that 3rd quarter. But obviously someone took over the game.
Yeah, and it's that man right there, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, number 2 for Canada. He is the first player ever at a World Cup to combine for 20-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, 5-plus assists in his debut over the last 30 years at a World Cup. He's also, that is out of every country, every athlete, every player. He is also the first Canadian player with 20 points and 10 rebounds in a FIBA World Cup game. So he is putting his mark on Canadian history and also basketball history here in his first game ever at a FIBA Basketball World Cup. How great is that?
Well, it's a phenomenal personal achievement, obviously. What I hope Canada do is just reflect him and the talent they have by just finishing this job off, getting into the habits for this team, because they have really put a quarter of basketball on there that, well, we talked now, they got this, they got that. That was great, a great defensive effort. Coach made adjustments at the half. They were so efficient with the basketball, rarely took a bad shot in that quarter. That's what you're supposed to do in international basketball.
Well, 4th quarter action, here underway. Canada with a 20-point lead. Yabusel, though, cuts into that lead. So nice little action after the break. And France now picked up their energy and effort defensively for sure. You can just see it in their attitude. RJ Barrett, and great defensive play and heads-up play, passing it in. Okobo takes it all the way, somehow misses. Oh, but it's going to stay France ball, as I think Dort is the one who tipped it out of bounds.
I mean, France have had a lot of joy at various, but apart from that third quarter with this small ball lineup. And Collet's gone to that to try and get momentum.
And Fournier, he went cold in that third quarter, but a great job by France. And him staying aggressive, not settling for a shot outside, gets all the way to the basket, and 2 more points for him as he has 21 on the night. He didn't score in that entire third quarter. And SGA drew the foul. So you saw Fournier there. Let's tell the referee, but it's happening down on the other end as well. Canada now. Side out of bounds action. Olynyk almost loses it. Finds Barrett. Barrett to Olynyk. And an easy 2-point bucket for Canada. Nice passing. Colo. Good job. I want to say keeping his balance against Dort there. Who's defending him and draws the foul. So that's going to be the first foul going against Canada. Fournier. Yabusel, shot fake, finds Fournier. Still a lot of time. No need to rush it. Oh, Colo cutting, but Dort read the pass.
Absolutely. So active away from the ball.
Alexander Walker, some fancy dribbling, and isn't able to finish, but is going to go to the free throw line. And, you know, talk a little bit about this. I think this is one of the most difficult groups in this tournament, Group H. We have Canada, France, Latvia, who you and I saw today. Lebanon, they struggled, did not look like themselves at all. We do know that they're going to have to cross over with the other pool. You know, if I was a betting person, I would say maybe Spain would finish first. Who knows? Brazil's had a great preparation warm-up. You have Iran and Cote d'Ivoire in that other group. So you finish first, you play the second from that group, and vice versa, obviously. I'm not sure I would want to go up against Spain to move on to the quarterfinals.
No, obviously because they're the team that has been there, done it all. Yes. You know, they're defending champions, etc. The other thing, though, just stay with this group for a second. Canada have been great. Latvia were great earlier on. Who knows where you might end up? You know, it could be a 3-way tie. The other thing France have to be careful of here is getting beat badly, because getting beat badly could put them in a hole that.
And also your record moves on as the tournament moves on as well. Yeah. So. And we do know, you know, absolutely, Canada, you know, they have expectations in this tournament. And it's obviously to do as well as they want to, but it's also to get one of those coveted 2 spots.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the FIBA, obviously we're, what's it called, the Olympics, sorry, next year in Paris. Forgot what it was called, you know, that tournament. That event that they hold every 4 years.
Yeah, but the thing, I mean, obviously, it's going to be a tough ask. It's a 21-point game with these 2 to come. And how likely are France to get enough stops themselves? Are Canada going to start making some bad decisions to make this interesting? France have to get it to 10 first, you know? Yep. If they don't get it to 10, there's no game. But it's like, it wouldn't be the hugest surprise to see the way that Latvia play. But they went and beat Canada and then lost to France. You know, you could have a 3-way tie, but a big loss here for any of those teams, and one for France today, could make life crazily difficult for them unless Latvia lose both the games. As soon as we get into a tie situation, France could be in a really big hole.
Absolutely. I think, you know, tie is almost the worst situation for any of these 3 teams. 3 teams, if it possibly was, with 3 teams. Latvia were scary good today. I know Fournier open look, almost banked it in. You know, Latvia, yeah, defensively, I think they're going to have, you know, different defense than they did against Lebanon today, going up against either Canada or France, but just the way that they shoot the ball, share the ball,
sharing the ball, because how much can you chase? If they don't turn it over, they're in a great place. And what Canada are at, this is a tournament experience time for both coach and team. They could put France into a big hole now. They don't want to they can't be letting up at all. They're up 20. 20 is a big enough margin as it is. They don't want France creeping back to make this an 8-point game where Canada scrap it out. One, they want a positive performance. Two, they want to make life difficult for France. They will make it almost impossible for France unless they beat Latvia. And both teams beat Latvia to go through. And they could do that with a big win right now.
Yep. Yep, you said it. Well, Canada, they're still holding on to that comfortable lead, let's say, 74-52. France came out strong, and now, again, look a little out of sorts because of that aggressive Canadian defense. Colo, tough shot. Shea with the rebound. He's going to push the tempo. He's had a couple trips to the free throw line. Well, if you don't foul him, you don't stop him, I guess. As he kind of says, my bad to Powell. I saw you, man. Way to run the floor, big guy, and seal off your defender. And an easy 2 points, and Vincent Collet has to use another timeout. That's going to be a second timeout in this second half with 7 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Canada, 76-52, up on France right now.
Le ballon sale. Reviens faire le deuxième. Là, Mathias, il va venir là. Thierry ici. Là, on a Evan ou Eli. Joue à dos. Tu roules. On la redonne en haut et là, tu viens faire l'écran. D'accord? Allez, let's go. Allez. Le blanc rouge.
France at 19% from the three-point line, because in the second half, apart from a Nicolo corner jumper off the penetration, they have not had a clean, open look with their feet set from the three-point line. They are just under so much pressure to make shots happen for them. It's just been an exceptional defensive effort by Canada, both on and off the ball. It's just been superb. And the other surprise, if that's the right thing, unless Collet's looking at different things, no Gobert and no Batum right now. It's almost as though, hey, we've lost this, we'll try and get as close as we can. We don't need to put any more miles on those lanes.
Think about Lebanon and then Latvia to guarantee moving on. Tough layup, tipped out. Shea, Gilgeous-Alexander to Powell. Powell into the corner, extra pass. Oh, Dort just couldn't hold on to it, but it doesn't matter. He lets it fly. And Canada come up with a rebound. And there's going to be a technical, I believe, going against Coach Collet.
Or the bench. I don't know,
or the bench, maybe, yeah.
I'm not sure if it was Collet or the bench.
Well, here's a great stat. There have only been 2 players that have made 20-plus points, more than 10 rebounds, and more than 5 assists at a FIBA World Cup game. I mentioned how Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is the first to debut and do that. But there is another player. How about this? It's Andrei Kirilenko, who was one of my favorites growing up when he played at Utah and then also for Russia. He had 24 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists against Venezuela back in 2002. So for SGA to be in the same company as Andrei Kirilenko, I'm not sure if SGA even knows who Andrei Kirilenko is. Was he born around at that time?
He probably wasn't, but he'll definitely know.
But he's 25 years old, so yeah, maybe.
But he's a guy playing the game. So like guys playing the game always respect the greats, and Kirilenko is a great. He's a Hall of Fame. He's just everything. And the other interesting thing for me is the way the coach just let him play them. There was no rotation around him. He was in good shape. He's only just sat him down. And whereas before everyone's in the rotation, it was like, hey, this is his time. He's running the game.
Just runs into Fournier.
Absolutely,
yeah. No, you said it. I loved how he came out in the second half. And I'm sure that was a big emphasis at the halftime by Coach Fernandez saying, hey, Shea, go ahead, play your game. They're not stopping you. Okobo had a good look, off the mark. Alexander Walker now. Powell back to Alexander Walker. He's stops, he pops. They started very, very slow from the three-point range in the first quarter. Canada did. They were 2 of 8. At halftime, they were only 3 of 13, and now they are at 8 of 24. So slowly, they have creeped up. And how about that defense?
They've had a great percentage-wise this second half. Their three-point numbers are good. You know, they're capable of those numbers.
Dort.
They're capable of those numbers when they wait for ones they should take.
And now France not even able to get a rebound. Barrett there, the recipient of that offensive rebound by Dort. And really, France has no answer offensively or defensively for Canada right now.
Well, I never thought I'd say this in any of these situations. France have stopped. Defensively, they're literally Canada getting what they want now. France are in that place now where they just need to get out of the gym. There's still 5 minutes to go. You know, tournament play is about showing up every possession, not giving yourself, as we've said, a real difficult mountain to climb. They could end up with a difficult mountain to climb when they face Latvia.
And you said it right now. It's more, you know, Canada out 15-4 in this fourth quarter. It's more, if you lose, you have to lose by the least amount of points. As Fournier misses both of his free throw attempts.
Especially in 14 groups. One team in this group, Lebanon's not going to win a game, probably. And therefore, you know, the likelihood of a tie is there.
Brooks. Nice and one as he flexes his muscle. And then a little celebratory dance to finish it off. And you know, you and I had the opportunity to talk before the tournament started, Mark. What, you know, we mentioned, okay, I think if France loses this game, this is before the game happened, obviously, it was yesterday, they're going to be able to bounce back and improve. We've seen them do it time and time again at important tournaments and big-time FIBA events. Canada, on the other hand, if they lost, would it be harder for them to bounce back? Well, I don't even think we have to talk about that scenario. Right now, it's can they keep this kind of intensity and momentum, maybe going up against a team like Lebanon, a team like Latvia. Not that I think they'll be disrespecting them. Ooh, nice high-low pass there. Gobert to the sword.
Well, they can't disrespect the way that, if you disrespect Latvia, they make open jump shots. And then you could find yourself, you know, on the wrong end of a 50-point half, as we saw they're capable of shooting the ball. But I love the way that the majority of this lineup have learned as the game's gone on, as France turn it over yet again. This is like, and a lot of fans would have watched a lot of French basketball over the years at these competitions. This is, I think, almost a unique performance by France, and you've got to give the credit to the Canadians. Defense, they're just taking them out of their way of playing, make them play faster than they want to play.
Oh, Barrett.
RJ Barrett's the only one you feel a little bit, just good. You don't have to prove anything on this group. Just let it come to you.
The sword, great job there. Barrett, a little bit of frustration. He did sprint back on defense, which, you know, that entire third and fourth quarter, we saw them even making mistakes. They were sprinting back, and you're seeing a little bit of frustration, which you can't let it happen. The game goes way too fast for you to get frustrated. You've got to get back on defense. Right now, if I'm Canada, yeah, you know what? You're up big time against a very, very good team. You try and send a statement. Hey, you know what? We had a lot of hype going into this, but everyone said that we were inexperienced and we weren't ready and we hadn't played together a lot. Send a statement, but then also, you know, make sure all those fans in Canada that you're serious. You're about winning and winning by as much as you can.
That's the most, that plus, you've got to send those statements, plus you've got to understand, all you've done is won today. You know, you've got 2 other games. Okay, it's a group game in the World Cup. They're likely, very likely to beat the Lebanon. They've got more talent. They're going to play a Latvian team also in their first World Cup. It's going to play hard every single possession. But all you've done today is won today. The worst thing, they're good enough to go really deep in the competition. So go really deep in the competition.
Exactly.
Do the things that you need to do to go deep. Don't be walking away saying, hey, we could have. There's no reason that they should be talking about what we could do here.
Well, the fans have to be enjoying this performance by Canada, and you see the Canadians are definitely enjoying playing with each other. As Kelly Olynyk hyping up Dylan Brooks there on that last slow-mo we saw. Alexander Walker. We see France going to the bench now. Sylvain Francisco, 0-0 in the game.
And I love taking time with the ball. They got to get a good one. They get a good one.
Shot clock winding down. Powell there with the offensive rebound. Put back.
You've got to make France just not like the last 3 minutes of this game. Keep them on defense, get shots you want, make them work for everything they get. You're getting what you need, and we're going to get to see the big man in a moment. We're going to get to see the big youngin.
Gobert, tough take, no foul. Canada with big-time numbers, 5-on-3. Alexander Walker on Dort, ooh, well off. Edgem gets a rebound though. Barrett takes his time, back iron, Powell knocks it out. Alexander Walker kicks it to Dort and just missed one, but don't make that two as he nails that three-point shot. And talk about offensive rebounds, 13 offensive rebounds, and I would say half of them are just kind of tip-outs as well.
Tip-outs or hustle rebounds, where they just get there, and it's not necessarily the big they just outwork the opponent.
Francisco, tough shot is good. And now Canada, they're going to call a timeout, and I think we're going to see some substitutions take place here. Let's try and listen in to Coach Jordi Fernandez and what he wants to tell his team, how to finish the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds of this game.
This is going to tell us a lot about where he is with his team. It's going to be an interesting timeout, this one.
Bring the ball. Bill first, Zach second. Mel in the corner. We go double, Bill, Zach, first set the double, and then away, Kyle, Pearl, and then Phil, you're coming back and you play with Zach. You can space all the way to the three. No, but we got it. Those two in coverage. 1 through 3. Kevin, go 3, 1, 2, 3.
Well, game's not over. I think we can easily say that Canada is going to win this one, though. There's still 2 minutes and 15 seconds. You see bench players checking in for Canada as Phil Scrubb into the game for Canada. There he is, number 23. I'm pretty sure he's the only player that played every single qualification game for them. I mean, every time Canada has called him, he has shown up ready to play for him.
And the other thing I love about him is like he is what I class as one of those guys who's a real day in, day out pro. Yes. You know, he's worked hard to make his career a good career. And he's on his way to Turkey next year, and he's at a good level now. And he, as you say, always going to help, always going to show up when the national team called.
Yeah, he one of 2 players who was on that 2019 team, 6 points a game back 4 years ago, as he decides to not get on the score sheet in the points column as he misses both of those. And you see number 25 check in, Trey Bell-Haynes, as well as the youngin, Zach Edey, number 15, the Boilermaker. Oh, with a block already. And the sword nowhere to go. Already got blocked once, kicks it out. Francisco. Ooh, nice take. Gobert there with the dunk on the offensive rebound. Bell-Haynes finds Scrubb. Scrubb kicks it to Alexander. Alexander's shot is off the mark. Kyle Alexander in the game. Cordinier. And that might might have gone off him
Yeah,
at the
it
end.
did go off him.
Well, ball back to Canada, and some of these bench players getting some minutes, which, you know, heading into the game, I'm not sure if they would have thought they would see playing time, but how well Canada's go-to players have played for, I don't want to say they played bad in the first quarter, but every quarter on, they have got a lot better. And no good from the corner is Melvin Ejim. He gets it back. It's just a hustle plays, you know.
Yeah.
They want the ball more than France, in my opinion. Look at that. For example, as Gobert is going to be called for a foul, even though he says it was all ball.
Well, you know, with their preparation and how they've done in preparation, these guys have got floor time in preparation. They're now wanting to play because they want to be an option for coach in the later part of this tournament. So they're going to go in and actually have to play hard. They don't want to be sitting there going, well, you know, coach, I wanted to play more. You can take the time you've got, contribute national team-wise, and coach will go to you if he needs you.
And this is a long tournament. You know, I know a lot of these NBA guys are used to playing, but it's, you know, it's a game day off, 2 days off, and then game day off, game day off. You know, there's not a lot of recovery time, and, you know, I think we will see teams later, quarterfinals, semifinals, those are the teams who get to go to their bench significantly. And tough take there by Yakuba Ouattara, who's also getting a couple minutes for France, I believe it was.
I mean, the other thing that France do this all the time with their players, but the way that Canada has used age group tournaments to actually teach people how to play in these tournaments in recent years. Edie came through that, a successful under-19 program. Obviously, Barrett was like an MVP in a gold medal winning team, etc. That tournament play is different. You know, the pressure of playing for your country is different. So they're in a really good place now as a group, it looks like. And you mentioned the work that Coach Nurse had done in initiating a lot of the things that are going on right now, and the work that Jordi Fernando-Torres has now obviously carried on is bearing fruit. It was never going to happen overnight. You know, they had some disappointments in the last couple of tournaments. They're not having one right now.
Well, Bell Haynes there with the turnover. Francisco picking his pocket. And again, you said, you know, some of these Canadians want to go in and prove that they deserve some more playing time, the bench players, but same with the French players. Francisco, you got to think that Collet says, all right, you've gone in last couple of minutes, you've done a great job defensively and offensively. Maybe I'll play you more next game.
Yep.
Well, it's going to be last possession for Canada, 6 seconds. Kick it to the corner, and another three-point shot is good by Kyle Alexander. And what a game here tonight in Jakarta, Indonesia, as Canada have made a statement, beating France 95-65 in their first FIBA World Cup game here in 2023. How about that? Knocking off the team that won third the last 2 World Cups. Silver medalists from the Tokyo Olympics. Yeah, Canada had a lot of names, had a lot of height, but they didn't have a lot of time together. And they have proved that whatever they have done it well and right with this win over France.
Well, you've said it. You know, last year's beaten finalists in Eurobasket, medalists in the World Cup the last 2 times and in Olympic Games, but they just got beaten up. They just got beaten badly because of the defense that this Canadian team played was exceptional, and they were so much better with the decisions around the ball in that second half. That this Canadian team has just sent their first message, because as I say, they've won today. That's all they've done.
Yeah.
But maybe they've proved something to themselves in that second half. You know, that they actually can put that level of defensive intensity on the floor and still find a way to be smarter with the basketball.
Well, great win, big win for Canada. France now, what do you do? I mean, it's early in the tournament, it's first game. One of these teams was going to lose here tonight. We knew that. And I do think France are experienced, talented it enough. They have a great coach in Vincent Collet, who has just as many medals as most of these guys, these players that he has on his team as well. But this was a painful loss. I'm not sure France has had that big of a loss against, you know, a team ranked lower than them in a very, very long time.
No, and I think the thing to add is with the schedule of games, that French team better hope that same Canadian team shows up against Latvia, because they do not want to be facing Latvia with this points difference against them if Latvia get the win. It's going to have a look at the best plays of that fourth quarter, and even though the game lost a little bit of intensity because they were totally in control by that Canada, they really did not stop making those good decisions with the basketball. And for anyone watching and doubting them, that's what they're going to be more pleased to see than anything else.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, I thought Canada played, well, okay, kind of what we expected in the first half. But that third quarter was a statement third quarter. Yep. This is how we can get out and defend. We're not just about offensive scoring, our athleticism, our players. No, we can get out and defend as well and can defend as a team. And it was really their defense for me which changed the game.
The defense was great, but really great. As good as I think I've seen in a World Cup in the way a very, really highly ranked team was dominated by the other team's defense. Coming down the other end, the number of times in the second half where the penetrator gave it up, or they went inside and came back out, didn't take it, only took it to the ring when they had a drive lane, like this one, straight through there for to own that drive lane to get the layup. Their decision making in that second half is a worry for every other team, because that's the bit that people question when they lose in some of the preparation games. No one's questioning them now. All they're questioning now is, can they do it back to back?
Consistently, yeah.
Can they roll up and at least have a defensive level that they don't slip beneath? And I just love the way they played a lot of team basketball at times, even though there's a number of superstars out there playing great themselves. They shared the ball really well, just as we saw for the last play of the game.
Well, Canada had a lot of hype coming into this tournament, and they have proved that they deserve to be here with a win tonight over France, 95-65. Latvia winning earlier, 109-70. Latvia with one win, Canada with one win, France and Lebanon 0-1. So those are the standings in Group H after game day one. What a game, what a day. Thanks for joining in. And we will be back tomorrow with more FIBA Basketball World Cup action.